On this International Women's Day, we are kicking off our 2023 Remarkable Women series.
That's right. At just 6 years old, a life-changing diagnosis for this week's Remarkable Woman, who says her family was told to prepare for the worst. But 50 years later, she says, without dialysis or a kidney transplant, this remarkable woman is still going strong.
WFXR's Kelsey Jean-Baptiste introduces us to a mainstay in the Henry County community who's been making a difference there for more than 20 years.
Just a new chapter. Just a new chapter in my life.
Debra Buchanan is no stranger to hard work.
Back in 1996, I started the coat drive for kids, and that program still continues today.
Buchanan says her county-wide outreach program designed to give coats to kids in need all started with one child.
And when I started that program, actually I was going to work one day and I saw a child standing out there, and it was bitter cold, and didn't have a coat on.
Buchanan says she found out that the child didn't have a coat, so she went out and bought them one. She says that's what inspired her to start trying to make a change.
What I did was I started collecting used coats, children's coats, and I would go all around the city and the county and I would pick up used coats and I would wash them in my washing machine, or I'd take them to the laundromat.
Buchanan says Coats for Kids has grown since then, and she's distributed over 10,000 coats to date. But she didn't stop there.
Then in the year 2000, I started Shoes for the Soul.
It all started, once again, with one child. Buchanan said she saw a little girl walking down the hallway of a school wearing shoes that were too big for her small feet.
I asked the teacher, I said, does that child need a pair of shoes? And she said, well, I doubt that she's ever had a pair of new shoes because there's so many children in the family and she gets hand-me-down shoes.
And just like that day 4 years ago, Buchanan says she went shopping, this time for a brand new shoes for a little girl. More than 20 years later, and that program is still going strong too. Buchanan partners with Henry County schools and churches that provide new tennis shoes to children in need.
You don't know how much it warms my heart when a child comes up to me and says thank you.
But in the midst of all of it, life took a turn.
There's pictures.
As Buchanan sits at her computer, she looks through old photos of the exact moment she cut off her hair due to another life-changing diagnosis in January of 2010.
Been having some problems, which most women would think that were, oh, it's just because you're a woman. Lower back pain, maybe your stomach hurting.
Buchanan says she'd gone to the hospital 3 times with symptoms. She says doctors chalked it up to overworking until her body gave out.
Actually, what happened was a tumor ruptured in my abdomen, actually in the doctor's office.
Believe it or not, Buchanan says doctors told her they couldn't find anything wrong. That is until she says her daughter, who was in the medical field at the time, started asking questions. From there, doctors figured it out, and Buchanan was diagnosed with clear cell ovarian cancer.
I actually had 3 tumors in my stomach that they had to remove. I had a complete hysterectomy. I had my omentum removed, which is the fatty elastic layer over your organs in your stomach, and I had 21 lymph nodes removed.
Doctors at Roanoke Hospital told Buchanan she would have to go through an aggressive form of chemotherapy.
She said, you'll eat if you can eat. You'll get up to go to the bathroom if you can get up. And I said, okay. I said, how many treatments do I have to take? And she said, well, I'd like for you to take 6, but she said, if you can take 3, I'll be okay with it.
She took all 6 and still continued to work throughout her chemotherapy.
And I can tell you by the end of the 6th treatment, I could barely put one foot in front of the other, but nobody knew that except my family.
If you ask Buchanan why she continued to work, she will tell you, if I stopped, my life would be over. She says her mother, family, and faith got her through the tough times.
Without him, I wouldn't be here today. I really believe that, because so many times we want to feel sorry for ourselves, and we want to take that misery and compound it. But you know what? There's so many good things in life, and there's so many things that we can do as women to protect ourselves and our feelings from the outside world.
In Henry County, Kelsey Jean-Baptiste, WFXR News.